Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everyone, I'm Adam Harry from Bell Souls with
Drake from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
We're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Drake, what is this game today, man?
This is Spaceteam.
Spaceteam!
It is a party game for most of the whole family.
Yeah. You gotta be able to read.
Yeah, it's important. It is being distributed by the same guys who made Cards Against Humanity. It's not made by them, but it's being distributed by them, and kind of fits in with their niche of kind of
fun party
eclectic
games.
Party games. So
yeah.
I'm really excited about this. It was an app game as well, so it's kind of gone the route of Spyfall, which started as a kind of phone-based party game.
I actually have this app on my phone. I'm not even gonna lie.
So you'll have to compare it. I think this looks great. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I love the game. It's a great party game. The app is, and now that we have an actual physical version, I don't have to worry about my Wi-Fi password getting out there. So
exactly.
Can you give us a quick rundown of what the game is?
Yeah. So in the app game, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's assigned a different part of the ship to repair because your ship's falling apart and you're flying into a black hole.
Yeah.
This has the same idea.
Well, there's black holes involved. You're trying to avoid them, ideally.
Right. This is the same idea where everybody has their own set of malfunctions that they're tasked with repairing, and everybody is sharing or not sharing, but everybody has a hand of tools.
Yeah.
And somebody else might have the tools that you need to fix it. So the goal is to communicate to everybody while they're also trying to get the tools they need to solve the problem that's in front of you. Thrown in, there are also anomalies that space you, and you float out of your seat until your fellow mechanics pull you back in. And it's this big, active shouting.
Yeah, it's a very frenetic, moving game.
Exactly.
Even the app is can get very heated as you're shouting. I need somebody to work the warp core or whatever. So
and this adds a spatial element to it.
Oh man!
So you have to coordinate to get what you need while everybody's also trying to get what they need. It's very hectic, and you have 5 minutes.
So there's a timer.
There's a timer in here, and there's also a timer you can get on their website that has lights and sounds and sirens and stuff.
Just to make it more crazy. Perfect.
In case it's too calm.
Yeah. Well, let's hop in and take a look inside Spaceteam. All right, Drake, we've got Spaceteam. This is pretty much everything in the box. This is the contents of the box. You just 2 decks, and then your timer as well. But there's actually a lot of extra room, like you were saying too. So
yeah, easily less than half full. There are some expansions out right now that increase player count, more cards and stuff like that.
Sure.
But there's definitely room for a lot more for them to make in the future, which I think is super cool.
Yeah. So walk us through, what are we looking at? We've got, it looks like 2 decks and then...
Yeah, so you have 2 decks in play. The malfunction deck is made up of...
What's this one?
Yeah, is made up of anomalies, which are kind of like events that happen, and then these actual malfunctions, as well as what you're looking for as... an example, systems go cards, which are part of your spaceship.
Oh, okay, I see how that works. Yeah.
Yeah. So this deck is shuffled together and dealt face down to all the players. Your goal as one of the players is to get through your deck by solving these malfunctions or dealing with the anomalies until you get systems go cards. But because it's all shuffled together, you might have multiple in your deck, where the guy next to you might have none.
Yeah.
But you don't know that.
To determine how the decks are built too, it's in the rules. So there's a little sheet.
Yeah, you don't use all the cards unless you're a crazy person, because that'd be absolute.
That would be the very
madness.
hard mode.
Yes. So there are varying difficulties, so you can make it easier or harder on the group based on what you're in the mood for, as well as how many players. So it scales really, really well, and is really adaptable kind of game.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So
all the tools.
So yeah, this is the tool deck. This is going to be dealt to the players, I'm assuming.
Everybody. Yeah. Face up in your hand, so you can see what you have.
You can see your tools,
but you can't necessarily see what other people have. So the idea is that when a malfunction comes up in your deck, you have to solve it by laying out cards that suit these parameters. Sometimes it's a picture, sometimes it's a tool type, and sometimes it's like a name. Like it'll just say the name.
So in this case, we'd need the moon whisk because the icons match, and we'd need a gear.
Yeah, some kind of regulator type tool, and there's a handful of those.
So it's going to be really important, your communication skills with your fellow players.
Exactly, because if you didn't have this in your hand and you just saw that, and you're trying to ask somebody for the right card, you have to kind of piece it.
Looks like a flashlight with circles, I don't know.
Or some kind of thing, and then somebody might hand you the wrong tool.
Whisk?
You say, that's not what I need.
Yeah.
And then when you get it,
Yeah, speaking of handing people tools, how does that work with with a bunch of players, like if we're playing at a giant table, can I just like toss cards to the person across from me, or
No. So in the rules, it actually specifies. Obviously, in a 3-player game, it doesn't really
Yeah.
come into play. But you can only hand cards, tools, directly to your right and left. There's no
okay.
reaching across the table. There's no tossing. You can only lay down 3 tools in front of you at a time to solve a given malfunction, and none require more than that. So
wow.
that's it. But so you have to rely on the people immediately next to you while communicating potentially up to across the table. And it's very chaotic, and you only have 5 minutes to do the whole thing. To put the ship back together, basically.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for the rules, right? Like, is there anything else you can think of that folks might want to know about for Spaceteam?
No, everything else is on the cards. Like the anomalies are kind of strange. Like they'll usually throw a wrench in what you're trying to do. For example, if you flip over noxious gas, you can't speak or say anything.
You shouldn't have turned the valve. You can't speak or play until all players have shouted your name to wake you up. That's pretty cool.
You can still play, but you're
still
dead silent until somebody notices. And there's another one that like you've been spaced and you can't like do anything until the people next to you pull you back into your seat.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So the anomalies make it interesting. The malfunctions are the actual troubles, the actual problems that you need to solve, and the tools are the means by which you do that. But you don't have access to all the tools, and you have to rely on other people to trade and share.
That's pretty cool stuff. Honestly, this sounds a lot like the app. A little bit different mechanically, obviously, because you don't have the screen in front of you, but just the shouting match that will ensue as you're trying to get everybody on the same page.
Communicate while being communicated to.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
And it also lends itself very well as a party game because of fairly large player count. It can be expanded as well. You can play in any kind of space because you only need to have access to that 2 people on your side, and the cards are all plastic.
Yeah,
so they're
waterproof.
completely waterproof.
Very cool, because this could be a fun game while you're enjoying an adult beverage or two with some friends or your kids, because it's fairly friendly. Yeah, maybe you spilled some juice. I don't know. Let's hop out for a really quick...
juice on my
got juice on my keyboard! Let's hop out for a recap. Well, that was Spaceteam. Super crazy. It definitely reminded me of the app game. There's definitely some things that are
and this really is designed to be a party game. The cards are plastic. They're water resistant.
Yep.
And it works well for a large table because you can only hand cards to people immediately next to you.
So you gotta pass
it. You gotta work together. It doesn't matter how wide the table is because it only matters who's next to you anyway. So I think it lends itself to a wide space, to a large player count. There are also expansions available to increase that player count and make it more or less difficult and add new cards and stuff. So I think it's a great start.
It's a fun, cool game.
It's a good little game. And tell you what more.
What's up?
It's affordable.
Yeah, let's crunch the numbers on this real fast. You mentioned affordability. What's the price point on this one?
This is $19.99.
It's not too bad.
Cheaper than Cards Against Humanity.
That's pretty good. And it's a pretty fast game. Obviously, every game takes 5 minutes.
It's a hard 5-minute count.
Hard 5 minutes.
With some setup, but the actual gameplay is...
Yeah, and as Drake said at the top, this is basically fun for the whole family. Ages 10 and up, you do have to be able to read. 10
and deal with the stress. I think that's more of an emotional recommendation. You have to not be overwhelmed.
Don't freak out. And then it is designed. This core box is for 3 to 6 players, but as Drake mentioned, there's also expansions.
There are expansions that raise the player count to 9.
Yeah, so go check those out. Spaceteam is a ton of fun. Check out the app too if you get a chance and have some friends with some Wi-Fi access. It's a trip. And go check out the box team. It's in stores right now, right?
Yeah, available right now.
So go check it out. I'm Adam Harry from BoLS.
I'm Drake with Dragons Are Comics and Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.